How about that southbound DLS? You got a radio on?
Yeah, go ahead.
How are we doing this morning, sir? I'm that little black car out there in front of you.
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Saw you left the chrome shop there, so I had to come out here and see if I can't get a better picture of you. You're looking pretty good there, sir.
I appreciate it. You want to stop somewhere and get some pictures of it?
Actually, I got that little device on the back of the car there. It's a video camera, so we're rolling some video on you. So if you don't mind, we'll make a nice little video for people to enjoy a old girl like that.
Awesome. I appreciate it. You got a website or something that I can see the footage, pictures?
If you put in the old Google machine, Big Rig Videos, you got a couple of videos there on the old YouTube and Facebook.
10-4.
The videos that I normally make, if you've ever seen anything on YouTube, I have conversations with guys as they drive down the road, and I ask them a lot of things that are inspiring to others. Guys, especially new into the field of trucking, they pick up a lot from some of the more experienced guys like yourself.
10-4. Yeah, whatever you want to know.
Tell me about the truck, the year, and how you came about it.
It's a 1993 P, and my oldest son Donnie found it online in Virginia, and we went and bought it and added it to our fleet.
Now, does the rest of your fleet look as lovely as that?
Yeah, we've got some older trucks. We're working on them, putting new fresh bumpers, and they eventually within the next year they all will be.
Very nice. So you might as well go ahead and mention your name, the name of the company and the fleet, so we can become a little more familiar with you.
Name's Donald L.Sollers, S-O-L-L-E-R-S. I started DLS in 1998 when my father was still alive. My dad and my grandpa were all truck drivers. And I put my own name on the door, and in 2018 I made my oldest son president of the company, and I'm vice president now. And
back to the truck there, and now that we have a good baseline on who you are and the company, how many miles do you have on that particular truck there?
This truck here has over 3 million miles on it. 2.5 million were by the previous owner, and then we bought it and stretched it out. Higgs Welding in Dietrich, Illinois, they stretched it for me. It's got a 3406 P model cat. Turned up to 650. Got a 15-speed Fuller transmission.
What do you have for rears in there?
355s.
Whenever I come across a old mechanical motor, we just got to take a minute to appreciate the beauty and the sound of those old trucks and those engines.
Yeah, I really like this truck. It started out, it was going to be my son's truck, and then I kind of took it over and started doing things to it. And then my son started buying other trucks again and adding to the fleet. And he drives every now and then, but most of the time he takes care of the business end.
How long have you been on the road for, or driving for?
I got out of the service in 1985. When I got out of the service, I started driving. Pulled a tank for several years. Then shortly after my dad passed away, I put my name on the door and went on my own. Been driving since 1981 when I got out of high school, and was running with my brother. So I've been driving ever since. I took about a 9-year break.
That's pretty awesome. First of all, thanks for giving your time to in your service there, and then again doing it again, being out here providing another service. So coming out of the service and everything like that, and starting trucking, What were some of the things that you remember back then that you really enjoyed when you started driving that are different now?
A lot of the things that have changed are the truck stops. Parking lots are a lot smaller. They went from full restaurants to fast food restaurants. Not really into the fast food restaurants. I prefer the old style truck stops, 100 places to park. Drivers were a lot more sociable back then. You didn't have TVs and cell phones to sit in your truck and, everybody got out and communicated. It was just a friendlier time, I think. More social in person instead of on a phone or on a laptop, all that.
I would have to agree with you there. Nowadays everybody's checking this and checking that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But like you said, when it came to just being social and meeting guys and building friendships, doing that in person right there must have been amazing. Because I say, when I go to the different truck shows, I enjoy meeting people and talking with people firsthand. So I can only imagine what it was like, pulling into different places across the country and doing that.
Yeah, it was just a lot different time. The truck stops were bigger. They had a full restaurant that you could go in and sit down and enjoy. And now that this COVID thing is, everybody's kind of all separated. Nobody really talks anymore. That's why I like going to Wildwood Truck Stop, or the Chrome Shop, because, guys get out of their truck and talk to each other, and it's just a nice place to go to, too.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that.
Well, another thing that I kind of miss is the guys used to communicate on the CB radio, let you know where the cops were, and you could ask a guy where the next rest area was, but a lot of guys don't even have their radio on. They're just riding down the road looking at just looking at the road. They don't even have radios in some trucks now.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that about how guys don't use radios for communication, or I think the biggest thing that would be helpful if the radios were used to help avoid some of these wintertime pileups and things like that. I mean, it's just a kind of a no-brainer to make use of a tool like that to just keep informed on things.
I feel the same way. All them 100-car pileups and 100-truck pileups and all that, down there in Texas, and then out there, what was the last one? Wyoming or Nebraska had the 100-car pileup. Communication is key out here. Guys don't get out and help the other guy back in next to him or anything if he's awake. They get the truck stop, they close the curtain, and you don't see him.
Yes, sir. You're right on that. So where do you normally run with a truck?
I normally run Chicago to Florida, Chicago to Texas. My son Chad, he runs local, 500-mile radius of Chicago, and then all the other guys are 200-mile radius of Chicago. I do most of the long-haul stuff. A lot of Louisiana, Texas, Florida, North, South Carolina.
So out of all the places that you've run, what are the favorite areas geographically to run?
It'd be a hard toss-up between Florida and Texas. Texas freight pays better. But Florida and Texas are my two favorite.
We spoke about the one Chrome Shop here. So out of all the areas that you run, have you found yourself any favorite places to stop that have great food that you make it a part of your process or part of your stop?
Wildwood is one of them. Iowa 80 Chrome Shop is another one. Those are two good truck stops. Usually have everything that you need. They have parts, and they're pretty fair on their prices. There's a little stop down in Ringo, Texas. Nice little truck stop down there.
So with the experience that you have, what type of person do you think it takes to do the job out here on the road? What do you think? What do you think it takes?
It's kind of a lone wolf job. You're out here by yourself. Spend a lot of time away from home, and you gotta be self-motivated too to be on time somebody who's kind of hungry for something more than just sitting behind a wheel. And to get to the top, you got to try hard and work hard. It ain't easy being out here.
No, sir, it's not. And what you mentioned about being a self-starter and motivated, that is key, because there ain't nobody else in that truck to get you up and to get you, get you out on the road to get your delivery on time.
Yeah, you gotta be self-motivated and have some discipline. That way you're on time and keep your customers happy, and it's all about motivation and dedication.
So with that being said, what would you say to a person that wants to get into the industry of trucking, or to move up from pulling a van or reefer to pulling a flatbed or something like that? What type of advice would you give them?
Find you somebody who's an older driver that'll take some time with you, communicate with you, and teach you the ropes. You can go through a class or a school, but there's nothing like old experience to help you through the rest of your life.
Yes, sir. You're right there. You can't replace hands-on experience at all.
Yeah, now also involved in the family business. My daughter is our dispatcher secretary, and my middle son is in charge of helping with the rest of the business. He's home more often. My two sons, communicate, talk about things. So, it's family-owned business.
I tell you what, you got to be one proud father then, huh?
Yeah, I wake up every morning with a grin on my face, just knowing that, I put my name on the door in 1998, and it's grown into a great family business. I couldn't have done it without my kids being very supportive and, kind of taking care of me when I got home, to make sure they were there to visit with me and hang out. I spent a lot of time away from home.
Well, that being said, especially with the number of years you've been out here, what were some of the ways that you dealt with that, being out on the road, missing family and everything like that? How'd you deal with that? And what advice would you give to other guys in a similar situation?
Well, best advice I can give them is, when they're at home, spend time at home with your family and kids. That's the most important thing, is your background support.
And then when they're on the road, how'd you deal with that, and what would you say to others about that?
Well, when I was first on the road, it was really tough. You had to find a payphone. You'd have to stand at a payphone for a half hour and talk to your family. There'd be other guys waiting. You'd have to make it short so that they could call in and all that. But, cell phones sure have made it a lot easier. But they've also gotten in the way, too.
How so?
Some people just aren't paying attention to the road. They get too involved in the new phones, looking at the screen and stuff, and it's made it a little bit more dangerous out here.
I would agree on that. for the length of time that you've been out here, what lessons have you learned? Because we all like to say that we're constantly learning and things like that. So what lessons have you learned that you're willing to share with the others?
Well, right now the biggest thing out here is, I think, it's patience. You have to have a good amount of patience to drive and put up with other drivers, and staying safe. Before there was half as many trucks out here, and it's grown every year. And patience is a big thing, and I've learned that over the years. That yeah, keep your nose clean. That's a good one.
Oh, I didn't hear that driver. I had my squelch turned up a little bit. What did he say?
Yeah, he said, "Don't F up and keep your nose clean."
Well, I guess squelch saved the day on that one. Then I wouldn't have to bleep him.
Yeah.
So, give us a scenario where patience for you, if that's one of the things that you learned over time, that's helped you. So, give us a scenario there.
Coming into your bigger cities, the traffic has gotten so bad that you just got to slow down and be patient with people and get over in time. Road constructions are the biggest thing. People wait until the last minute, cutting you off. You just gotta slow down and be patient, let them get over.
With the number of years that you've been trucking, what's been some of the best times that you've had out here trucking?
Back in the late 80s, early 90s, if you were out over the weekend, you park in a truck stop, and if you're laid over, some guy would break out a barbecue grill, and somebody would break out some ice off the, and just hang out and cook some hamburgers and watch football games, do a little tailgating in the truck stop. That doesn't happen anymore. Back in the late 80s, they used to have truck drag races out there at Ontario Truck Stop. Guys would unhook from their trailer and drag race down the back row. And there's all kinds of stuff that used to go on that don't happen anymore.
Some of the guys there that do hang out there at the chrome shop over the weekends, they'll do like what you mentioned. Again, you did identify that area as they're a little more social there. And hopefully some guys will kind of, if they don't do it already, kind of tell you, well, it's not a bad thing to be social, because other guys are looking for the same thing, to hang out. And if they don't have family out here, family's at home, so why not, make new friends, make new family. Some of the people that watch these videos, they're curious about different radios that guys run, CB radios and antenna systems and things like that. So what are you running for a CB and antenna in there?
Right now I've got a Connex CX3300 HP.
And what about antenna?
Antenna, I've got a Wilson 5000.
Very nice. I really appreciate your time and having a conversation here. The truck is just, it's one of the trucks that we just love. I speak for myself. Love to look at, love to hear going down the road. Again, I appreciate the time, and hopefully we'll see you soon going another way.
down here in Bonita and probably be back up there at the truck stop up at Wildwood. I might wind up there all weekend.
Well, that sounds good. I might see you there. I may come back up there over the weekend and hang out. I was actually spent some time up there last Friday, Saturday, and it was a good time.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully I'll see you up there. How long before you usually put this online?
Probably about a week, if not a little sooner.
Alright, yeah, just edit out the stupid stuff I said.
No, there's no stupid stuff at all. We appreciate guys like yourself out here more than you know.
Yeah, best advice I can give to a young driver is talk to the older drivers who's been out here. Take their advice.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the interview. I appreciate it. You have a safe trip, and God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.